This evening, plenty to whet the appetite on a Friday night, as you've come to expect on Fight Zone. There's a number of debutants as well. A debut indeed for RAFAL BENKA in a few moments' time. He opens up his pro career against the very durable and tough MJ Hall. SONNY Taylor comes next, looking to extend his perfect 5-0 record in a heavyweight contest, before we see another exciting prospect in Joe Underwood Hughes, who returns to the ring to face Sam Melville himself on debut. And then on the main card a little later, under obviously the Fight Zone banner, just $4.99 a month for all of this. 3 more debuts to come on that main show. Craig Miles makes his professional bow against Josh Cook, who took a narrow defeat on his own debut on Fight Zone just about a month ago. Faizan Shahid, a name to remember, the second of 3 fighters from Oster's gym in Leeds on tonight's card. He gets his first shot in the pro ranks against Steve Maguire. Billy Dennis, former world-class kickboxer, still young, but unbeaten as a kickboxer, now having a go at the pro boxing ranks at cruiserweight against another former kickboxer in Arti Pikur from Estonia. Elsewhere on the card, Dom Hunt looking to extend his unbeaten record, as is Steve Jan Levy, managed by our very own Dave Allen, who's on comms tonight. You'll hear from him shortly. And that leads us on to tonight's main event, Hamed Ghaz and Liam Shinkwin facing off in an English title eliminator, with Myron Mills waiting later in the year, the winner of tonight's meeting. And if previous domestic title eliminators on Fight Zone are anything to go by, we should be in for a real humdinger to close the contest. Yeah, there's obviously a lot to pick through there. Number of debuts, as we've come to expect on Fight Zone, the stars of tomorrow. But the 2 kickboxers and Billy Denise, that's one that catches your eye.
Billy Denise, I'm really looking forward to see him, because I've heard an awful lot about him. You know, he's well trained. He comes from the kickboxing code.
Yep.
But at that, he was a world champion,
wow, undefeated,
and you know he's now moved to boxing. So really looking forward to see him. SONNY Taylor, you know, a professional undefeated as well, a heavyweight. So there's a lot to look forward to. And how good is Hamed Ghaz going to be?
Well, interesting, yeah, he's got a great backstory, hasn't he? Afghanistan born, obviously been in this country for a number of years. I think he's 16-0 as a professional fighter, with an excellent amateur record as well.
Never been tested yet. No. So this is finally, he's getting let off the leash.
Yep.
So it's really how good he's going to be. Sounds very confident, you know, looks the part.
Yep.
So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. With obviously, we say Myron Mills, who we saw on Fight Zone, just get the better in a cracking scrap with James Ballingall a few weeks ago. So he'll be waiting with that title later in the year. It's
a great launch pad. You know, as you know, the whole platform is. It's a great launch pad for young kids, for young guys, and he's got that platform. English title if he wins, British will be in waiting, and then you know the world's your oyster.
Yeah, and we obviously we assume every week we come here that the debutants are going to impress, and a lot of them have. I don't know, it's a long time ago now. Do you remember your pro debut and how nervous you were?
Do you know what? I'll never forget my pro debut. Never forget I was petrified. I was fighting a 3-0 undefeated heavyweight, and I was that petrified I won in 90 seconds.
Did you really? It came out in a storm.
It launched a heavyweight career, which it shouldn't have really, no. But there you go. It was yeah, never to be forgotten. And RAFAL BENKA, who's coming on in a moment, you know, we'll see what he can do. We will indeed. In fact, I think the 2 first fighters, including debutant RAFAL BENKA, are ready for their entrances here in Sheffield. So get yourself comfortable. It starts right here, right now, with our MC for the evening, the one and only Paul Booth.
Fight fans, very good evening. Welcome to the Fight Zone Arena here in Sheffield, and also viewers joining us live and exclusive wherever you are on Fight Zone TV. Time now for bout number 1 of our evening. This is a super welterweight contest. First boxer to make his ring walk is from the West Midlands. Introducing MJ Hall. And now he makes his ring walk for the first time as a professional boxer. On his way to the blue corner, boxing out of York, it's RAFAL BENKA! Sheffield boxing fans, a very good evening and welcome to the Fight Zone Arena. Dennis Hobson, in association with Fight Academy, now bring you bout number 1 of our evening. This is a super welterweight contest. We are scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing. Timekeeper ringside is Peter Humphrey of Doncaster. Upon the saddle of the belt, the scoring referee in charge of this bout is Andy Brooke of Leeds. Boxing out of the red corner. On the scales officially at 10 stone, 9 pounds. He has 2 career victories, and tonight wears the black shorts trimmed with silver. Boxing out of Stourbridge and the Midlands, introducing MJ Hall. And across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner, standing there tonight for the very first time as a professional boxer. On the scales at 10 stone, 8 pounds. He wears the white shorts trimmed with gold. Now he boxes out of York via way of his native Poland. Introducing our first debutant of the night, RAFAL BENKA! Referee Andy Brooke will now issue his final instructions to both boxers.
Seconds out, round 1.
So the first bout of our Fight Zone card from the Fight Zone Arena, one more time at this fabulous arena that has become very much our home so far on Fight Zone, your new home of UK boxing, and another debutant, RAFAL BENKA, trained by 3-time titleist, world title challenger Henry Wharton in the corner, good amateur, and he is already making a very bright start to his professional debut. As already, well, Andy Brooke, the referee. So a quick word with MJ Hall, Matt Hall, and he's back on his feet in the season campaigner. And alongside me tonight in commentary is the enigma that is Dave Allen. How are you, Dave?
I'm very well, thank you, Dom. Yeah. What a lovely evening, nice and fresh. BENKA looks fresh. MJ's looking quite fresh herself, and BENKA started off at a pace where we watched Charlie Martin Stewart box MJ a few weeks ago. He came out like a raging bull, and he realised after a round and a half, MJ's not going anywhere, and BENKA's come out at a nice steady pace. He's winning the round. He's behind his jab and. Doing a nice professional job. Like you say, he got to the King of the Ring tournament finally in Borås, Sweden, so he's clearly an experienced man.
Well, he's a decent amateur, but of course this is a different game now. BENKA has been waiting for this debut, like many men and women have been with the pandemic. It's been hard for them.
BENKA, like a lot of fighters, BENKA, you look at him and he looks really ungainly, and he looks quite slow. But he won't be when you're in there with him. You know, for us watching him now, he looks quite ungainly. He's got like a really awkward style. Doesn't look the fastest, but from me looking at him here, I bet he's really awkward to deal with. But MJ will be liking this slow pace, you know, and MJ will be loving this. This is an easy night's work for him so far.
Well, as you mentioned, MJ Hall was here 3 weeks ago. He was here on the very first Fight Zone card as well, the 21st of May, the first show at this arena when he took on James Moorcroft. So he's one of those lads who's always ready, but BENKA took this at very short notice as well. He's been in the gym ever since getting his medical sorted. That was pre-first lockdown, so he's been waiting a long time for this night. And again, after that eager start, he has just settled down a little bit, but it's understandable. You only get one debut, don't you, Dave Allen? Yours was a while ago now.
Mine was December 8th, 2012 at the Oldham Valley Stadium. Literally, you would have been able to see it from here, but it's been knocked down now. But BENKA's made a nice professional start to his professional boxing debut. He's not knocking me socks off, but he's getting the job done.
Well, he's got one round under his belt. He's a PT, massage therapist, normally when he's not training, and now fighting as a pro. He's originally from Poland, moved over with his family to Durham, but he's now relocated to Hull. He was a student in Hull as well, so sorry, York. I'm talking nonsense. Hull. Where did he get that from? He's in York with Henry Wharton, of course.
So Dom, if you was a massage therapist, would you massage yourself? Could you massage yourself?
Is it going to be that kind of night, Dave?
No, I'm asking the questions people probably want to know the answer to. Would you massage yourself if you was a massage therapist? Because I think if I was a massage therapist, everyone just want massage all the time, wouldn't they? So
if you're a dentist, you work on your own teeth. Is that what is this the kind of way you're going now?
if I was a dentist, I'd probably start brushing them, wouldn't I?
Corners, 10 seconds.
It could be a long night. This is the first fight of 9
I'm
here
not-
on Fight Zone, your home of
2.
UK boxing.
I've not had a nap today, I've been busy, so it's going to be one of them nights.
We'll have a word about your outfit maybe a little later on, but round 2 of this Schedule 4 rounder in the super welterweight division.
Yeah, so far RAFAL's he's doing a good job because he's not going off like a, you know, you see a lot of these young kids making the debut and they're going 100 miles an hour, and RAFAL there he's diving into shots. He's nearly throw 2 shots at the same time. They nearly throw a left hand and a right hand at the same time, but he's taking his time, and I think that'll work out well for him. You can see he's physically fit, you know, with his job, not his massage therapist. The other job he's got 2.
Personal
so
trainer.
obviously he's a very fit man, but he's just taking his time. He's doing the job, Dom. You know what I mean? Your professional debut, it's about winning. You know, I remember going into mine. I thought all I need to do is win. I'm not bothered how I do it, just win.
Rolandus Chesner, wasn't it, if memory serves? That was your debut.
My debut was I won on points, 60-53. 6 2-minute rounds, Dom. You don't see 2-minute rounds anymore, do you?
Well, good shots from BENKA now, really letting the hands go, and MJ Hall doing what he does when he is under pressure. He knows how to look after himself, of course. Very seasoned campaigner. Just tucking up, trying to ride the storm there. Tonight, MJ Hall in his 65th bout. Doesn't win many, just 2 victories, 60 defeats, 2 draws, but not many get him out of there.
No, he's very tough. You know, the only stoppage defeats he's got are Anthony Tomlinson, Ryan Oliver, Conor Vian, Stevie McKenna and Tom Hill. You know, 5 stoppage defeats in 60 victories. He watched James Moorcroft here over 6 rounds and took him all the way. Same with Harley Ben, same with Harlem Eubank, same with Jake James, you know, same with Charlie Martin Stewart. He's a very tough man.
Well, you've done your homework tonight, Dave.
I think BENKA should be playing the right hand more. You know, when you box a southpaw, which MJ Hall is, the right hand is a very effective shot. It's straight down. The boxers call it a pipe. You know, that right hand seems to go straight down that imaginary pipe, and let MJ with it. He's because when you're watching the orthodox on the southpaw, the orthodox man lead hand is literally on top of the southpaw lead hand. The jab is a very awkward shot to throw. I always find it a very awkward shot to throw against southpaw, the jab. I'll never beat a southpaw. Never.
Well, you'll have your chance when you return in August.
I am.
Maybe,
I'm not boxing
maybe.
any. I'm not boxing any of them out of the deal. No southpaws. This is an easy night's work for MJ at the minute. BENKA, you know, he's doing what he needs to do, but I'd like to see a little bit more out of him.
Well, Errol Johnson in the corner. Such a busy gym.
the busiest man in British boxing, Errol Johnson. He's incredible work rate from the man. BCB are flying at the minute.
No stranger to the Fight Zone Arena here in Sheffield, of course, Errol. Likewise, MJ Hall, of course, and many from that stable. And what a venue. We'll miss this when it's gone, Dave. I mean, the weather, it's okay tonight. It's not raining. It's a little bit overcast, but we've had some amazingly sunny, brilliant nights here. It's always been a great crowd, a great experience. And after the 18 months or so, everyone's just been so delighted to get here and watch quality boxing here on Fight Zone.
Oh, it's been great, Dom. What's your favourite show been so far?
Do you know what? There's something in every single one of them that stands out, and that's the way I kind of see it. I mean, when the sun's been shining, obviously it's been like a festival almost. It's been like a cross between a beer garden and a music festival with a ring in the middle of it. It's been absolutely brilliant, but there's always been standout moments, and that's what we're getting. And for $4.99 a month, free to air at the moment, of course, for the undercard fights, but crazy value.
Well, we've been through the maths, Dom, and it's mind blowing. MJ's come out here with a little bit. He's come behind the solid right jab from left hand to the body there. I think BENKA, you know, when you're boxing a kind of fighter that MJ Hall is, you've got to put him in that box. You've got to let him know, look, you've got 60 defeats, and tonight you're having number 61, and that's just how it's going. But you've got to do a little bit, because now MJ Hall now suddenly took the front foot to the centre of the ring, and he's starting to get behind his jab and land the left hand to the body. So BENKA here has got to be careful that it doesn't give MJ too much confidence, because that's the last thing you want to do with a man like this, because then he might start thinking, you know what, I might be able to upset this kid. Caught with a left hand there, straight on the chin. For me, MJ's winning the round so far, and he's not done a massive amounts of work, but he's winning this round, MJ, for me.
Well, Andy Brook, the man in the middle, is the scoring referee for this one, the first of this 9-bout card. Of course, top of the bill, we've got Hamed Ghaz against Liam Shinkwin in the English lightweight title eliminator. So that to look forward to. A couple more debutants as well, which is always great to see. The young prospects, the debutants on here, we've seen many on Fight Zone. Always great to follow the progress of these fighters from the start.
I think we've got a lump on the head of MJ Hall here.
Oh, it has as well. That's come out really quickly as well.
That's a very bad one. Very, very, very bad. From a head clash, I'm not sure what the rulings here, Dom. That's a head clash in the third round. Technical draw.
Well, we'll have to see. Andy Brook's in there now having a good look at this. The doctor's in the corner. Now, MJ obviously is a busy guy, likes to fight. What he won't want is,
whether this gets stopped or not, he's going to be out of action regardless with that looking at it. I don't think it's looking good, to be honest. No.
Yep. Andy Brook has waved that off as well, so. Well, BENKA takes the applause. It's waved off due to injury. MJ Hall can continue no longer, and Henry Wharton in there with his fighter as well. Again, have you ever had an injury like that, Dave?
I mean, I've been stopped with a cut eye before. I've been stopped with other injuries, but never one like that. It's not. You worry when I see things like that. You worry about it because you're not really sure what it is. Swelling like that looks. I wouldn't want to see him getting it anyway. I wouldn't want to see it going back in live.
Well, Andy Brook has both men in the middle as well, so BENKA, well, he's applauded his fans that have travelled down from York for this. It's always a bit unsatisfactory when a fight ends in that manner, and particularly for MJ Hall, but we'll get the official verdict now with our MC, Mr. Paul Booth.
The official end of this contest falls at 1 minute, 40 seconds of round number 3. Referee Andy Brook has stopped the bout on the advice of the ringside doctor. MJ Hall is in no position to continue. It is a debut victory for RAFAL BENKA.
Well, he's up and running, RAFAL BENKA. That's his obviously first win as a pro, albeit I guess not exactly in the conditions or the situation that maybe he would want. MJ Hall, very tough opponent, and I guess probably given the chance might have continued, but actually Glenn McCrory, you can't let a fighter continue with that. It's a strange swelling on the forehead.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. I have seen injuries like that before on several occasions, to be honest, over the years. But yeah, you wouldn't want to get an injury like that. It's a nasty injury, and especially, he wants to try and get. He relies on regular work, so he wants to be out as soon as he can. So he needs to be out. But I think BENKA will be pleased enough with that. I think, he started off well. His style was nice. I like the way he went about his work, his jab, his balance. There's an awful lot to like there.
Yeah.
So I think, when it's a high pressure night, a big occasion like your debut, in this sort of great surroundings, then you just want to get it over with in the best way you can. And to stop Hall in any sort of way, I think that's still impressive. I'd like to see if we could have seen whether it was a clash of heads or whether it was a punch, because I have seen injuries.
Here we go. Let's have a little look.
See good right hands there.
Yeah, there were some landing shots. Whether they were enough to have caused the swelling, hard to say, isn't it? Really, don't see that obviously any head clash there, but we don't know exactly at what moment that swelling was caused, and then obviously became apparent. It did come up very, very quick indeed, didn't it? It just blistered up straight away. So whether it was a punch, as we said, didn't see any head. If he's done that with punches, then he must have a little bit of power in there. Obviously, his amateur credentials are very good. He's experienced, so I think it'll be a good addition to the pro ranks. Well, and obviously, as you say, on your pro debut, you were talking about your own and how nervous you were. You come out obviously with a kind of like ferocious, hysterical almost approach. Maybe, there's one or two good shots landing. I don't see a clash of heads. No,
at no point did it get messy.
No.
It never got messy. There's a lovely little uppercut punch there, and up it came. So I think it's been done. I think it's been done with punches. So if it has, that's impressive. That's impressive, and he must have a little bit of power in those fists.
Yeah, no, indeed, absolutely. And he's got 2.5 rounds against a very durable opponent ordinarily. He's obviously found a way, albeit a strange way, if you like, to stop him. So
just getting a stoppage win. It's MJ Hall, and you've got your name next to a stoppage. That's impressive. It'll obviously be harder in his next one, because the journeyman will be looking at that saying, "Whoa, he must have something a bit extra." So it might be harder in his next one.
It's not quite the 90 seconds of McCrory's debut, but those are high standards.
That was pure fear. Pure fear.
Yeah. And listen, lots to look forward to. A number of debutants tonight, and they'll all come with hopes, maybe some with expectations. We're going to see someone like Billy Denise, who's got he's got a name really, albeit in a parallel sport, if you like. So actually, I think we have now, looking back through the footage of that last fight, we think we found the moment where this might have happened. It might be a head clash there.
Yeah.
That would suggest to me it's right on that spot where the swelling occurs, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's got his hand against it straight away. Yeah. So he's getting through it a little bit luckily there. He was going to win. Yeah. Hands down, he was going to win, no bother. So he's got the W, and onto another night.
Yeah. And I was mentioning all the debutants he's one of, but Billy Denise, who we're going to see a little later as a former kickboxer, still only quite young, but never beaten, we understand.
No, I'm really excited to see how good he could be, because at 20, with that sort of credentials in kickboxing, world champion, undefeated, that sounds like he could be something a bit special. And that's what's so great about the Fight Zone platform, because we're getting these debutants, and we will unearth somebody special. We will unearth the next Ricky Hatton. We will unearth that, and you'll see him live on Fight Zone. Yeah, well, there's Hamed Ghaz to come later. Mentioned Billy Denise. There's a few that are starting or wanting to make a big name for themselves and eventually look for obviously national and international titles. And I think we've got a heavyweight coming up. We have Sonny Taylor, who's 5-0 and three stoppages. So this gives him a great night and a great platform to show what he can do. And is he gonna get in that heavyweight mix?
Indeed, yeah, absolutely. Well, I think RAFAL BENKA is ready now after the doctors had a quick look at him and obviously dealt with that swelling to MJ Hall. But RAFAL, I think, now waiting to talk to Don McGuinness.
Well, yeah, and the big smile on the face because the pro debut is out of the way. You've got the W next to your name. How did you feel in there tonight, Raf?
I'm feeling so proud. Well, I trained so hard since first lockdown, so it's been a year and a half. I've been waiting for my debut for nearly 2 years, so I'm happy to be back in the ring.
Was it a little bit of a shame the way it ended from your point of view? Obviously, got a big whack on the head there. Was it clash of heads?
Well, yeah, I think when I throw my jab, I think he tried to throw a backhand and then we clash heads, yeah.
But did you feel in control anyway from the first bell?
Well, yeah, I started very fast. First round was fast. Second round, a bit slow down. And the third round, Henry told me to just work on the jab, slowly jabbing him and find a way in.
Now, not many have a stoppage on the record when they're dealing with MJ Hall, so you might have a bit of a target on your back now.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. All the way up, you know. All the way up.
Now, obviously, you did have that amateur career as well, but now, after such a long time waiting for this, is the plan, I suppose, it's a silly question, like everybody else, you want to be busy. How busy do you want to be now?
Well, it all depends from Kev. If I could fight every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, you know. But Kev manage, you know.
Kev Marie, your manager.
Yeah, Kev Marie. Yeah, Kev Marie's my manager. He manages 88 boxers, so you know everyone wants to be out. As I said, I could be every week outside in the ring and you know fight anyone.
Well, you can get changed now. Enjoy the rest of the Fight Zone card. Well done.
Thank you very much, guys.
I'm delighted to say on Fight Zone, we've got Jack Massey, who's a cruiserweight, obviously many of you will already know, European title champion, titleist, whatever the right...
yeah, IBF European.
IBF and European, exactly. So welcome to the show. Rob Rimmer obviously now very much involved in your camp, so
it's good
welcome
to be
along.
It's my third time down here at the Fight Zone shows, and it's you know it's a great atmosphere, it's a great show, and it's I'm looking forward to be down here next week on Friday indeed. Fighting myself.
Looking forward to seeing you in the ring here. You've got bring you a bit of heat with you because they're fresh nights in Sheffield at the moment in midsummer.
I think the weather's going to be a bit better next week, hopefully. So
yeah. So a couple of cruiserweights to have a little chin wag, eh?
Exactly, and after I'm sure he's got in the sights a belt I've got hanging on my wall. So you know, lots to go for.
Hopefully, following the footsteps. So
Yeah. So talk about the change, because obviously I think you were with Queensbury with Frank Warren before. What was in your mind to make the change?
Yeah. So there was, I won't go into detail, but we were struggling to get fights. Won't say why, but we asked for the contract back, and got speaking to Kevin was obviously down here with Dennis Hobson. Yeah. And we had a little chat with Dennis after we left Queensbury, and it was great what they was offering. So
great. Boxing politics. Let's leave it at that. We all know what that entails. Yeah. Rob, exciting times, I would think, for your man here.
Yeah, really exciting time. Listen, it's anybody knows that to get the best out of a fighter's got to be active.
Yeah.
And that's the key. I want Jack to be active. He's had a few setbacks in his career via injury or setbacks where it's not due to himself. So, I mean, coming over to Fight Zone now with Dennis Hobson, you can see it's a great platform. He now becomes a big fish in a small pond, one that's going to really expand, and you've seen the amount of fighters coming through and the amount of talent that's coming through, and I believe that Jack's going to hit the ground running here. Get out next week, hopefully, for this title. Yeah. And I believe you're going to see big things.
What kind of fighter are we going to see, Jack? Just give us a description of your style.
A bit of both. I can box and I can fight inside. I can whack, so a bit of a mix really. But I tend to use my boxing brain, and depending on what fight it is and who I'm fighting, work it out by who you're fighting. So.
Well, delighted to have you along, and look forward to seeing you in the ring
thanks very much.
in a week's time.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
Thanks for stopping by for the chat. And obviously you've got this young man in Billy Denise in the next couple of hours, making waves without even making his debut yet as a pro boxer.
Do you know what? He's a popular lad, he is, Billy. But he's another one, you know. He's gonna light up the show tonight, and I don't think he's gonna fail with it at all. He's got an extremely magnificent background coming from the kickboxing. You know, like you say, undefeated. You know, but he's not got a kid who's got a big ego, but a lot of confidence. And if you know, he's took over really well. He's sparring week in, week out with the likes of Jack. Thrown him in with Liam Conroy. He was a main sparring partner for Lyndon Arthur. So the kid's got a lot of talent, you know. He's got a lot of heart. And
mixing in good company.
Well, of course. Really well. And for someone that's unboxed, you know, he can be a special talent.
There's potential.
I'm looking forward to it.
And he's just 20 years of age.
He's just turned 20, yeah.
Which is great.
And do you know what? He's done magnificently. You know, he's come down from, in 7 months, he was 18.5 stone.
Wow.
You know, he got on the scale yesterday. He looked absolutely fantastic. He was 13 stone 9.
Wow.
But he's a growing lad. So, you know, he's coming to he's coming to the professional ranks, and he's taking it serious. And I think tonight you'll see a special performance.
Well, that's what Fightzone is all about, isn't it? Trying to launch these careers, find these personalities as well as these fighters. And obviously Jack is one of those, and we'll look forward to seeing him in a week's time here in Sheffield. But on we go, as Glenn rightly mentioned. It's a heavyweight next with Sonny Taylor, and Dom's got the tail of the tape.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Boxing fans, it's time now for the heavyweights. Firstly, to make his ring walk, from Swindon, it's Bill Williams. And now to make his ring walk, bringing with him a perfect professional fight record, from Hull, Sonny Taylor. Ringside here in Sheffield. This is Friday night fight night. Also, a very warm welcome to viewers joining us live and exclusive right around the world on Fightzone TV. Dennis Hobson for Fight Academy now bring you a heavyweight contest. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing. Timekeeper ringside is Chris Hancock of Doncaster. Our scoring referee in charge of this bout is Andy Brooke of Leeds. Boxing out of the red corner, wearing grey trim with black and green. Officially on the scales at 19 stone, 5 pounds, 6 ounces. He has 3 career victories, including 1 going inside the scheduled distance. He now boxes out of Swindon, Wiltshire. Introducing Bill Williams. And across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing turquoise and grey shorts tonight, scaling officially for this bout at 14 stone, 13 pounds. His fight record is perfect. 5 visits to the ring as a professional, 5 victories. He now boxes out of Hull, introducing the undefeated SONNY. Referee Andy Brook with his final instructions to both boxers.
Seconds out, round 1.
So on with the action here in Sheffield at the Fight Zone Arena. On Fight Zone TV, of course, your new home of UK boxing. If you haven't already, get that subscription sorted out. And Sonny Taylor, wearing the light blue shorts with the grey panel, taking on the very seasoned Phil Williams from Swindon. This is 33rd bout, Phil Williams against Taylor, who takes the professional ring for the 6th time tonight. And this is a heavyweight contest, but Sonny Taylor, well, normally operates at cruiserweight. I'm sure we'll get back down there, and this could be a little bit of a scouting mission for you, Dave Allen, because I know you're coming back in August. That's the plan, and you want to get in there, a couple of 4-rounders, and see how you feel, and maybe Phil Williams might be somebody you got your eye on.
Well, Phil Williams is a good journeyman. He boxed Johnny Fisher a few months ago. And I text Phil, because Phil's kind of new mate, you know, you met mates on the circuit, and I said, Phil, you've embarrassed yourself there, mate. I texted him straight after the Fisher fight, and I said, you've embarrassed yourself, because the performance he put in that night, the shape he came into the fight, was nothing short of embarrassing. So tonight is a big night, Phil. He's coming off 3 stoppage defeats. He needs to put a good performance in. You know, not win, but put a good performance in. Go the 4-round distance. You know, be fresh, look fresh, and be busier, and you know, the cruiserweight. I told Phil yesterday, I said, look, because you got 4 or 5 stone on him, this ain't going to be easy, because Sonny is very sharp and he's good, and sharpness sometimes is a lot harder to deal with than brute force and strength.
You're a good mate to Phil Williams, aren't you, slagging him off like that?
Well, he was embarrassing last time, and I told him that, and I told him again yesterday, and I told him again today. But the thing with Phil,
what are you getting him for Christmas?
Do you know what the amazing thing is, Dom? Phil Williams could make £250,000 in the next 5 years out of boxing. Heavyweight journeymen are in short supply, and he could be a good one. So I say what I say to him from a very good place. Phil, get in shape, mate, because you can make yourself a very rich man.
Well, Sonny Taylor, as you say, is sharp. Doing good work in there.
He's very sharp. I thought this was a 4-rounder. It's saying a 6-rounder on the screen. But Phil's got a 4 or 5 cent weight advantage. Put Sonny on the back foot. Put him on the back foot. You know, you don't want to be him walking down, because Sonny will just keep throwing and throwing. So Phil's been putting Sonny up. Put him on the back foot. Half the job is done. You know, hit Sonny with a stiff jab or 2. You know, you're 90% of the way there.
Good shot to the body from Taylor. He's brought a few down from Hull this evening as well.
Good job there from Phil, much better. That's what he's got to do, you know. He's got to use that size advantage. What's the point of having 5 stone on him? Even though 2 stone of it is fat, he needs to use what he's got, and that's his size advantage. Use his strength. Phil's a strong, tough man. You've got to use it.
Well, Sonny Taylor, last time he was out, February of last year against Pavel Strakowski. Got the job done. 5th round stoppage and a scheduled 6-rounder.
That was a Taylor round, but Phil was better there. Did well there, Phil. The job for him, get through the fight. These heavyweight journeymen, you're in there with 15 stone, 16, 17, 18 stone plus men. Every shot you take, it's taking something away from me, you know. So
10 seconds, corners.
He needs to get Sonny on the back foot, try and put him on a jab, and try and get Sonny's work rate to lower it. He can do that using his size advantage and strength and a good jab.
Well,
go on, Dom. You talk.
Conditions in here tonight, I'm just wondering how it's going to actually impact the fighters. It's reasonably chilly, but again, there's no rain. It was raining a bit earlier, thankfully no rain now, and I think the freshness might help the fighters, surely. I mean, the lights are still bright under that huge canopy here in the Fight Zone Arena. And
I think you like running into the wind. It's hard work because the wind's in your face and it's slowing you down, but at the same time, breathing's a little bit easier because you're actually getting air pushed into your mouth and nose. Not sure if that made any sense.
There's been some good work from Taylor up close, the uppercut in particular.
It's where Phil can use his strength now. Rush Taylor up, rough him up, lean on him, walk him back, tie his arms up. That's where Phil lets me throw in a jab. He doesn't need to back up like that. He's got a 5-stone weight advantage. And he's just caught with the right hand on the chin there because he's backing up with his hands down, his head in the air. Phil doesn't need to be backing away like that from a man 5 stone smaller than him. Hold your feet, throw a stiff jab, and make Sonny do the moving. He's not going to punch hard going backwards.
Shot to the body again from Taylor.
I think Sonny can definitely feel the difference in weight. You know, being a cruiserweight in there with a big heavyweight, you can definitely see that he's telling it. I've seen Sonny box before, and he was much busier when you got a big man there with a stiff left hand in your face. You know, it is a bit of a. The shot factor will have hit him early on, I think, with the size difference.
He is sinking very good shots to the body, isn't he? He's certainly highlighted that as a target area from Taylor to Williams' point of view.
Will Phil be feeling them? You see, he's a very big man. He's very thick through the midsection, Phil. Sonny should be taking his time. He doesn't need to rush anything. That shot there is a waste of time. With Phil Williams, you can't miss his midsection. Just punch at the body. He landed a lovely body shot there, and a nice jab as well. Sonny just got to relax, looking for the big one all the time, looking for the big over and right every time. And Phil, with his experience, will see that coming a mile off. That's happy days for Phil. He's happy for Sonny to swing at him all day.
Well, another round in the bank for Sonny Taylor.
Yeah, he's two rounds up. I'd like to see him get behind his boxing. You know, I think what he sees in front of him, I think he sees Phil and he's thinking he hasn't got the speed to really bother him. But Sonny, I'm not sure what's about to happen. Not much. Phil just trying to use his brute strength to push him back. There's some lovely body shots there, lovely shots. You know, that's where he should be aiming. You're not going to miss. You know, you're having success. Stay down there. Stay down there. Stay down there for a bit, then come back over the top. Maybe come back with a straight right hand or the uppercut with Phil. You know, with his head, when he's got his head down, bring the uppercut into play.
Well, Seb Glazer in the corner there for Taylor, giving the instructions.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out, round 3.
So the third of a scheduled 4-rounder. First fight of the evening, of course, going early. RAFAL BENKA, the technical decision. He was 30 points to 27 up when the fight was stopped in that third round of the Schedule 4 due to the accidental clash of heads. Nobody wants to see a premature end to the fight, but a winning start to the record of BENKA. And Taylor looking for victory number 6 tonight. Does have power. 3 of his 5 wins inside the distance, Sonny Taylor.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of natural power, Sonny, but tonight he's just looking for it too much. He's looking for it. He's throwing the overhand right. He's swinging. He's throwing the left hook, and he's in close, and he's not really thinking right. He's throwing it, and Phil sometimes is throwing it at the same time. It's dangerous. This is a dangerous game to play. So with Sonny, get behind the jab. jab to Phil's stomach and work off that, work from there. Not every shot has to be a big one. You could break this man down, you could break him down over 4 rounds, break him down, hit the body, there we go, lovely.
Well, I think Williams did feel that. Followed up with a headshot as well from Taylor. Williams just happy to hold on for a little while. Taylor's been doing a bit of work with Billy Dennis, who we're going to see later on as well. He's been working, sparring him in Robert Rimmer's gym in Manchester. So again, interesting card tonight. Billy Dennis making his debut. The top of the bill, of course, Hamed Ghaz against Liam Shinkwin. There's plenty more besides, as Williams again just tries to lean on.
I think
Taylor
Phil's feeling the pace, you know. Obviously, Sonny is a cruiserweight. He has to come out, and like I say, some of them shots I do feel like they are telepath, but he's busy, and I think Phil is feeling the pace there. I'm not really sure what's happened there. Has Phil spat the gum shield out? Smart move if he has. Not really sure. Is it a low blow?
Well, he's certainly feeling it. Clearly, given time, must have been low. Didn't quite catch it from the angle they were at the time. He's brought a few down with him, Sonny Taylor, from Hull, hasn't he? So many of the fighters have had fantastic followings at the Fight Zone Arena all the way through.
Yeah, a lot of good support. And I watched Sonny box in Doncaster, a lot of support there as well. There's been a lot of fighters on these Fight Zone shows. Got very good followings. Levi Giles, one of them, he had a big following, and it's great to see. And you know, these fan bases really can push a fighter on to having good careers.
Well, of course, that's what it's all about as well, though, is showcasing this talent. It is a new home now for prospects, for novices, for even for the road warriors like Jamie Quinn, who for the first time since Fight Zone began, he's not on the card tonight. He's got a night off, Jamie Quinn. It's his birthday weekend as well, so he's making the most of it.
He must have made millions from Fight Zone. He's fought every week.
Well, that's because he's great value.
Good work into the body from Sonny. When he does good work, they land a nice southpaw jab. I'm not sure how intentional that was, but when he hits the body, Sonny, you can see Sonny's got a lot of ability. I just think he rushes a lot. That work there, the right hook and left up the body tells him he's got a lot of talent, but a lot of rushing. You know, good jab from Phil there. Good stiff jab to the face. And you can see that buys Phil 5-10 seconds. Sonny then thinks that hurt a little bit. That did Phil. I'll back off a second, and I'll come back again in a minute. So Sonny, this last round, he's 3 rounds up. Let's see some boxing. Let's jab. Get on your toes a little bit. Get on your jab. You know, when you work to the body. Work to the body. When you finish with that left hook to the body, finish with the left hook to the head.
Something
new, something different
for your
this round.
fourth and final round.
Well, it is the fourth and final round of this heavyweight contest, but of course, Sonny Taylor, a cruiserweight, normally. Phil Taylor was last out in May in Manchester, that fight you were talking about earlier against Johnny Fisher. Of course, Cash Ali was stopped by Cash, who we saw win the European title here a few weeks ago, and one of the standout finishes, I think it's fair to say, on Fight Zone. It was an excellent stoppage from Cash Ali, who's really rejuvenated now. So many storylines really coming out of these Fight Zone cards. Good work from Taylor again to head and body.
Lovely body shot, yeah. He works the body really nice, and when he throws the jab, he's got a nice jab. He does everything great. Put it all together now. You know, put it all together.
And a big left hand, and that's rocked Phil Williams. Excellent work from Sonny Taylor.
He loves it, Phil. You know, he's milking the low blow. He's spitting the gum shield out. He's a smart man. You don't have 32 professional fighters in every way if you haven't got a bit of brain about you.
Kind of grin or grimace on the face of Williams as Taylor goes to work again. Again catches him with the right hand.
This is where Phil will struggle now. If Sonny can keep this pace high, even if he can't hurt Phil. Phil can't keep up with this pace. Look how comfortable he is now. The pace is lifted. Phil's doing anything now. If I'm Phil there, I'm pulling his shorts down. You know, let the ref pick him back up. Anything for a rest at this stage. Phil, my old man there, my old man in the background with the blue coat on. Can you see him? There's my old man there, blue coat on.
So
Dave Allen Senior.
He's doing a bit of training with you now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the head coach now. He's now I'm 29. I've learned how to deal with him. You know, I can actually listen to him a little bit now. Maturity comes with age, Dom. It's going to be a long minute and 20 seconds because Sonny now really has. He's got the bit between his
body
teeth.
shot again from Taylor, and Williams really felt that and goes to canvas. Excellent work from Sonny Taylor. Well, it was
nice
survival.
Body shot, yeah, very clever body work. Phil's got to get back up now, and Phil really has now. He's got to grit his teeth. He's got a minute to go, and this is not going to be an easy minute. This because Sonny is going to come and he's really going to upload. He's going to let the kitchen sink go, and if he's not careful, Phil, the referee, will jump in.
Well, what has Williams got in it is just clever, incessant work from Taylor.
He's going to do well to survive, Phil, very well. I don't even think Phil's hurt. I just think the pace that Sonny's putting on him, he just cannot keep up with this pace. Cannot keep up with it. I don't think any of these shots are bothering him. He really just is struggling with the pace, a bit like the Johnny Fisher fight.
Well, it's really blowing now as Taylor goes to work again. He's going to hang on. He's going to survive the last knockings of round 4. And I think, well, as Andy Brook desperately tries to separate the two men, there is the final bell. So Williams does hear the final bell. And Sonny Taylor, well, a smile on his face. He's got the job done. Some clever, cute work in there. Great body work. And that's what put Phil Williams down on the canvas, who's still blowing so heavily. Really felt that last round. It was a struggle for him.
In parts there, Sonny Taylor looked great. The body work was great. He moved well. He moves his head well. Got to put it all together now. You know, put it all together. Obviously against a cruiserweight, yes, he'll be fighting men that are more his own natural size, don't hit as hard, aren't as strong. But at the same time, they'll be much faster, much more agile. You know, he does some good work though. He does some good work.
Well, it was that left that inspired Williams to just spit the gum shield out and buy himself a bit of time, because it caught him flush. It was an excellent shot from Taylor, but the body work as well was so impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was great. You know, Phil's a big, strong, tough man at heavyweight. He'll only stopped 6 times in 33 contests. So Sonny to now on the canvas there and have a convincing win is a good result for the cruiserweight man.
Well, both of the big men are in the middle with Andy Brook, the referee, so we can get the result now, the official result, with our MC for the evening, Mr. Paul Booth.
Well, our heavyweight contest goes the distance. After 4 rounds of boxing, we ask our scoring referee to decide the bout. He has it at 40 points to 35 points in favour of our winner. Still undefeated as a professional boxer from Hull, Sonny Taylor.
Impressive work, certainly, from Sonny Taylor. Looks a real prospect. That is obviously 6 wins and no defeats now for Sonny. But Glenn, obviously very much in your arc as a perhaps natural cruiserweight, fighting tonight at heavy, but do you see his future at cruiser, really?
Very much so, very much so. I think he'll make a good quality cruiserweight. He's shown that, you know, he's obviously, you know, heavy 14, the top of the 14 stone limit. You know, but when he comes down to 14.4, 200 pounds, you know, he'll be big, he'll be strong, you know, and he'll feel that strength against the smaller men. And you know, I think there's definitely some talent there. You know, he's got a bit of power, hits well to the body. You know, his jab was okay, but one of the problems he's got with his jab is he throws his jab out and he brings it back to his waist. So any smart fighter will just let him do that once or twice, then hit him with the right hand. So
it should come back to the side.
It's got to go straight out and come straight back. You know, like the old trombone. So that, you know, that's the perfect jab. So he's got to get used to doing that. There's things to work on. Yeah. You know, and he's obviously a work in progress. But you know, there's some talent there. There's a good following there. There's definitely lots to work on. So there's something to be excited about. Yeah. You know, if you've got someone cruiserweight who's hurting heavyweights, then you know you've got the power there. Yeah. Variety was good. I like the way he mixed up with some nice solid shots to the body. It's good to see fighters ripping them shots in. Yeah. Yeah. There was a pause for a low blow. I think that might have been it. Phil, obviously. Good journeyman, as you heard Dave Allen explain.
but certainly felt the force of some of those punches and was perhaps just more than hanging on, really, to get to the end of the 4 rounds.
Yeah, he was there. You know, he's a big lump.
Yeah.
He was there to test him a little bit with his strength. You know, what was good was for Taylor was that he couldn't do that. But I think I'd like to see Taylor in with the cruiserweights. You know, with some lively cruiserweights, because I think he needs to speed up. He needs to speed everything he does up a little bit. So he needs to get used to the smaller men, but also needs good sparring.
Yeah.
Sparring is all important. If you can get at this stage in his career, if he can get around the gyms as much as possible, you know, go and lend yourself out as a sparring partner to a Coley to pick Lawrence Coley, pick something up. You know, go out for sparring partner with some heavyweights.
Yeah.
You know, some of the top heavyweights.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there. That's where you're gonna get the most experience. So I think that's what he needs to do. But definitely a bit of talent.
Yeah, well, you mentioned you had obviously a short period as a heavyweight at the start of your pro career before you settled at cruiser. Now, what's the benefit of a cruiserweight fighting a heavyweight like Phil? Is it to test your power out?
I think, you know, at this sort of level, as a cruiserweight, that's fine, because, you know, you're not really going to, you know, you shouldn't be getting hurt of fighters like Phil, you know, with due respect.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't want to do is you know, what they did with me was put me in with the top heavyweights in the country and in Europe. So he doesn't want to be doing anything like that when he's a smaller man. So you know, I think needs experience. The best place to get experience is in sparring, because, you know, it doesn't go on your record.
Sure.
But I think he needs. He's at the stage now where I think he needs a little bit more of a test at cruiserweight. You know, because he needs to be getting used to making that 14-4 limit. But I think there's some exciting stuff out there for him at cruiserweight.
Yeah, and
we just had one here, Jeff Massey, haven't we?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
there's
So suddenly you're thinking, there's 1 or 2 that might just be meeting somewhere down the road.
Billy Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what he's like, because you know, that's just his 6th fight. That might if Billy's as good as they think he could be, that might be, you know, a match for Fight Zone 2 or 3 fights time.
Yeah.
You know, which would be a cracker.
Yeah, Jack Massey fighting on Fight Zone next Friday, as we discussed a little earlier. I think Sonny Taylor's all good with the doc and is ready to talk to Dom.
Well done, Sonny. Got through that one against Phil Williams, who's a much bigger man than yourself.
Yeah, he's a big fella, isn't he? Yeah.
You are a cruiserweight. So how did it feel in there against a much bigger fella?
It was good. I do a lot of sparring with heavyweights. I've been all over the country sparring with heavyweights. But my original opponent, who I didn't end up fighting, was meant to be a little bit shorter than me, so I changed the sparring up with shorter guys, and obviously that changed last minute. So then the guy was similar sort of height to me, so it wasn't so bad. I thought I'd have done worse to adjust than I did, but it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, he was holding on for dear life in the 4th and final round there. I mean, you put him down as well. The body work particularly impressive. That's obviously some of your favourite shots to the body.
Yeah, I love the body punches. I sometimes lead with them, which, you know, I should set them up, but they're my favourite punches to throw. But then because of that, I neglect the head shots. And Coach Seb was saying to me, if I go to the body, make sure I finish up top. And I didn't do that until the last round, and that's when you could see what happened from it. But I just needed to finish up top after the body shots.
So what do you take from that? What do you want to go to do next, basically?
You know, I need to work on finishing my combinations up top and not being happy with the work just downstairs. Set the shots up a bit better, and maybe give it a little while longer before I go up to heavyweight.
You've got Seb in the corner, your trainer, and obviously Steve Wood, your manager. Yeah. So again, you're going to be on the phone to Woody Mither and him now about what you want to do next.
I think we're going to be out in Hull, back in Hull in October, which isn't too long. You know, it gives us enough time to have a little rest and then get going again. But you know, it'll be good to be fighting back at home. My last fight was in Hull, and that was, you know, February 2020. So this was a brilliant platform to get back out on. And I'm really happy that I've been able to get on this. But you know, I want to get back at home now.
And you brought a few down with you as well.
Yeah. We sold out with the tickets I got, and then when it come round to getting more, I missed out because I left it too late. So we'd have brought 100 and odd down, but we just got the ones we got here today. It's a fair few, like, it was loud.
Well done tonight.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
My name's Hamed Ghaz. I've had 16 fights, unbeaten. Come this Friday evening, I'll be 17-0.
He's got a real engine on him, he's hard hitting, he's another aggressive fighter. For the fans, you know, he'll always bring bring the fire, and he'll always bring an exciting fight.
I am levels above him. I'm just too strong. If he wants to fight, I'll fight. If he wants to box, I'll box. It's a 10-round fight. I'll have plenty of time. And I personally genuinely believe that I'll get him out of there within 8 rounds.
Yeah, looking forward to that one a little later. Obviously, that will close our show on Fight Zone from 7:30, $4.99. Do subscribe to get all the action every Friday. We've got plenty for you on Fight Zone. And Ghaz and Shinkwin promises to be a cracker. We've had some real great scraps, actually, to close the shows on a Friday night. That looks like another.
Well, Ghaz, you know, he doesn't want to underestimate Shinkwin because, you know, he knows what he's doing. He's a talented fighter. And Ghaz hasn't really been tested yet, so he's getting let off the leash for the first time this evening. So really looking forward to see, you know, what potential he's got and if, you know, he's as good as he thinks he is.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? 16 pro fights, and yet the suggestion is that he isn't yet. We don't quite yet know how good he is.
That's the worrying thing in a little way. Maybe they're just being overprotective, but they haven't put him in with really sort of live winning opponents. He's been fighting journeymen. So in Liam Shinkwin, you know, finally he gets the chance, and you know, it's also, you know, for for the English title. So you know, not the sort of they took him to a certain point. Now they're saying, right, now you go. Yeah. So if he wins tonight, then he moves on, and then, you know, it's British and everything else. So,
absolutely, yeah. Well, Shinkwin, I think, has only one defeat, and that was early in his career. So, as we've discussed many times already on these shows, the early defeat, even a couple of defeats, as we talked about with Tommy Frank, that isn't necessarily the making or breaking
was a
of a fighter.
Shinkwin was a Southern Area champion.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
You know, he's been at this, above this sort of level in the past.
Yeah.
So it's really what, you know, he was out the game for a while. Says he's back in love with the game, Shinkwin. So we'll find out. We'll find out if he's got the fire. You know, Ghaz will be in for a fight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just interesting to hear from Sonny Taylor that he obviously thinks long term he is going to go heavyweight rather than cruiser, from what he was saying there. Interesting. Yeah. I thought you saw him as a cruiser, really.
I did. At that sort of weight, you know, at 14, 12, I think, you know, he just has to drop a few pounds and be a big cruiser. Now, I know, you know, I've got a lot of experience with the heavyweights, being in with some of the best in the world. There's some big men about in the heavyweight division, and you know, he's going to give away, even if he does put weight on, he's going to give away a lot of height and reach. Yeah. So for me, I would make your plans to be in Sonny. I'd make your plans to be, you know, be the best cruiserweight you can be. Yeah. You know, win stuff at cruiserweight, win the British, win the Commonwealth. See where you can go. And then when you think the time's right, when you're a little bit older, a little bit more mature, then go for the heavyweight division. That would be my advice.
Good advice, I'm sure it is too. On we go. Joe Underwood Hughes, who is 4-0 at lightweight. He's up against another debutant in Sam Melville. And Paul Booth is ready to bring the fighters out here in Sheffield. Paul?
Dennis Hobson's Fight Academy now bring you the lightweights. Firstly now to make his way to the ring. First time as a professional boxer as well. It's Sam Melville. And now to make his ring walk to the blue corner, from Beeston, Joe Underwood Hughes. Welcome to viewers joining us live and free on FightZone TV, wherever you are right around the world. Dennis Hobson for Fight Academy now bring you a lightweight contest. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing. Timekeeper ringside is Chris Hancock of Doncaster. Upon the sound of the bell, the scoring referee in charge of this contest is Darren Sarginson of Manchester. Boxing out of the red corner, first time standing in the ring this evening as a professional boxer. He's on the scales at 9 stone, 6 pounds officially for the contest. He's wearing the white and turquoise shorts this evening and boxes out of Stockport, Greater Manchester. Introducing Sam, the Skimmer, Melville. And across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner, stands his undefeated opponent, wearing gold and black this evening. He's scaled also at 9 stone, 6 pounds even. 4 fights, 4 victories, 1 going inside that scheduled distance. He boxes out of Beeston, Nottinghamshire, introducing the undefeated Joe Underwood Hughes. Referee Darren Sarginson will now issue his final instructions to both boxers.
SecondsOut, round 4.
So our third fight on the undercard of this Fight Zone card at the Fight Zone Arena. Of course, top of the bill, Hamed Ghaz against Liam Shinkwin. But this, Joe Underwood Hughes, his 5th bout as a professional. 4 wins to his name, all points. Victories against the debutant Sam Melville from Stockport. Underwood Hughes in the gold shorts with a sparkly black trim.
Interesting fight this, Tom. Underwood Hughes win over Rodriguez there. Was a good win at the time. 4-round victory early in his career, difficult fight. And he looks good. I follow him on Instagram. I follow Sam Melville. I saw Sam Melville's name and I thought, that name's familiar. And I saw debut, I thought, I don't know him. Follow him on Instagram. Anyway, he's with Joe Pennington, so we know for a fact he's going to know his job. He's going to be good. He's going to be clever. And so far, Melville's been good. He's good. He's doesn't look the biggest punch in the world, but he looks clever. I think this will be a good fight on this.
Well, Underwood Hughes, very confident. 24 years of age. So far, all his fights have been at the Harvey Haddon Leisure Centre, which will be a familiar place to many boxing fans, particularly around the East Midlands. He also works there as a lifeguard.
Must be a good swimmer.
Clearly. So he fights there and then works there. So this is his first fight away from very familiar territory. What a place to come to, the Fight Zone Arena here in Sheffield. And that experience of fighting outdoors that so many would never get and so many have enjoyed on these cards.
Underwood Hughes strikes with someone with a good engine. You know, he looks very relaxing. He's on the front foot. He's busy, but at the same time, if you look at his face, there's no form of tension to it. You know, he's relaxed. He looks very methodical. It looks like he's going to do this for 4 rounds. You know, definitely when he steps up 6, 8, 10, 12. But it's methodical, and I think he'll keep this going for 4. An interesting one here is Melville on his debut. Can he do it for 4? You know, I think Underwood Hughes in this fight here, I think rounds 3 and 4 will be interesting, because I think by the time round 3 comes round, Melville will be struggling with the pace, even though he does look clever.
Good work with the jab, Underwood Hughes to head and body.
Yeah, Underwood Hughes won that round. He looks well. He's not bad at all.
Scott Callow in the corner, his trainer and manager.
Yeah, I get the feeling Underwood Hughes will keep this going for 4 rounds at the same pace. I don't think we're going to see any dropping of the pace, and I think if anything he will start to increase it. You know, will have a nice jab, very methodical in his work, relaxed. Yeah, there's not much bad I would say there. And Melville for me looks clever, looks good, but I think on his debut he's been put in here with a good fighter. So I think this will get hard rounds 2 and 4 for Melville.
Well, Joe Pennington, a busy man tonight. He's got a couple more on the card as well that he'll be looking after. But Melville, box for Bredbury and Stockport, also box for Northside, Joe Pennington's amateur gym. Joe likes him.
Round 2.
This is a really good lad. And as you said before, Joe knows what he's doing. He knows whether they're home or away fighters, as it were. They're all very skilled fighters from that Northside gym.
Yeah, they know the job for sure. You know, Josh Cook's on next. He was fighting a few weeks ago. William Warburton. You know, Joe
and the man Quinney.
Yeah, Joe knows the job. You know, and he's Sam Melville's 30% better just for having joined the corner in my eyes.
Well, Underwood Hughes going to work there, having some success, and Melville just a little bit ragged there.
Yeah, I like Underwood Hughes. I think he's good. I think he's got a little bit of everything. He's I think he's one of them men that's a 6 or 7 across the board. But he's got that 10 out of 10 engine, so he can do it. He's going to do it for the duration of the fights. I think he might be a dark horse for a prospect to watch. For definitely, looks good.
Well, Melville on the front foot now, retreats a little, but did let his hands go there. Not afraid to have a go.
I would like Underwood Hughes there when he makes Melville mids. Don't be in such a rush to make him pay. You'll get to him. You know, we can see that he's the stronger man. He's pushing Melville back with his physical strength advantage. Just take your time, make him miss, and instead of trying to make him pay every time, just make him miss and take the distance as you make him miss. So as you make him miss, slip the shot and step in, or catch the shot and step in. Step right on top of him. Use your strength. I think round 3 and 4, round 4, Underwood Hughes will be well on top here if he applies the pressure correctly instead of rushing, which I believe is the only mistake we've seen him make so far. There, he's kind of rushing his shots. He's throwing 2 or 3. The jab's good. The right hand, the left hand, the thrown one. He's only on 1 foot at a time when he throws it because he's diving in. Just keep his chin down a little bit there. Melville's having a go, in all credit to him.
Underwood Hughes has brought a few with him from Nottingham. It's so good to see the fighters from all the different towns and all converging on Sheffield of a Friday night, bringing the fan bases with them. Everyone stays, has a great night, supports all the other fights as well. They don't disappear after their man's been on the card. It's been excellent, and what it's all about really here at the Fight Zone Arena.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to have support. You know, when you're in there and you're doing your work, and there's no better feeling than getting your hand raised and looking at the support, and they're spending a lot of money to come and support you. You know, so you want to put a good show on, and let them get the money's worth.
Just a little half step back from Underwood Hughes to avoid the advancing Melville, and the last saying of the round, if you like, was to Underwood Hughes in that one. Not talking of fan bases, didn't you headline the O2 Arena once?
Yeah, did you? I think as well. You know what, Dom? I think there might have been what 12, 13,000 in. You know, I'm not sure it will pack, but I was telling this story earlier as we watched Underwood Hughes go to it. I don't really like him as a southpaw, to be honest. I don't think it looks the most natural thing in the world for him. But when I was in the O2, I remember being in my hotel room in the Intercontinental Suite, and as I looked out of the window, there was like billboards, and I was on the billboard because I was headlining the O2 Arena, which you just mentioned, which I wasn't going to mention until you mentioned.
You know, could you just show off your uniform? Why don't you stand up and give everyone a little turn there, Dave? Go on. Right.
10 seconds, callers.
No. We need to see your shorts. It's your shorts, really, and everything.
Oh.
Good gracious. Dear me, come on, you'll do yourself an injury.
Oh, I've missed my chance to get all Stevie's sponsors in. I've missed my chance. But as I was saying, Underwood Hughes, yeah, he's doing everything right. He's got a good jab. He's methodical. There's just a few things, but for a 4-5 pro, I would like to see things to work on. Get your chin down. The old man's on the phone. Who's he on the phone to? Who's he on the phone to? I'd love to know. He's laughing too much for my liking. What's he saying?
Well, somebody's just phoned him and said, have you seen your David on the telly? Have you seen what he's wearing?
White Rhino Promotions as well. The half of the roster there next to me, old man. Liam Kerrigan about to turn pro. Broke his leg. Levi Kincione will be in action soon. In the lightweight division, and here we've got two super featherweights, Joe Underwood Hughes and Sam Melville, in a full 3-minute round contest.
And Melville still having a go. Darren Sargison wants a word. The scoring referee for this contest. Still Melville is on the front foot, now retreats as Underwood Hughes just moves him around the ring. But a very game customer, Melville.
Yeah, he's done well, Melville. Underwood Hughes kind of took his foot off the pedal this round, and it's allowed Melville to, to get moving, use the jab. He's been awkward in this round. I'm not sure he's doing enough to win it. Underwood Hughes is doing some nice work, but Underwood Hughes, I like him to go back to what he was doing in the first time. Get on the front foot, get behind your jab. Get your hands up and get that long jab going. Stick it in Melville's body, then put it in his face. But this round, it's a much closer round, the third round, and I didn't really envisage it going this way.
And Underwood Hughes with the physical advantages, the reach advantages, and
he leans back out of distance. I don't like it the way he leans back. He leans back. When you find an opposition a little bit better than Sam Melville, they'll follow you back and they'll put the right hand on your chin, And you don't want that. Good shots there from Underwood Hughes. Like, get your hands up now and stick to what you was doing. I think you had too much success early on, and he's trying to turn southpaw, other things. Just stick to what you was doing, because it was working, it was good. A lot of credit to Melville though, because he's tough. He's toughed it out. He had an hard first 2 rounds, and he's come back into it. And for a debutant against a good kid, he's impressed me. He's going to be a very good addition to the Road Warriors.
Well, the Road Warriors that get plenty of work in Joe Pennington's stable. He's a plasterer by trade, Sam Melville.
Doing well. That round was closer, probably, a push. You're saying it's two rounds to Underwood Hughes and maybe a split round. Probably 3-0 Underwood Hughes. But Melville might have done us to share that. I think he's done really well. He's really come back into the fight there, and goes have a little foothold into it. Because after 2 rounds I was starting to worry about him, but in that round he's done really well, and yeah, I'm happy for him.
So if you're giving instruction there to Underwood Hughes in the corner, if you are Scott Callow, what are you saying for the 4th and final round?
Saying get your hands up and get behind your jab. He's got a lot of physical advantages on Melville. Use them. Get behind your jab. Get back to what you're doing in the early round.
10 seconds.
As simple as that. Jab. Bring the right hand in behind it. Stop turning southpaw. Don't do the fancy stuff. Get the job done. Try in the corner there. And I'm saying, look, could be 2-1. That round was close. Could be 2-1. Now go and finish the job and go and do it in a professional manner.
Well, of course, this free to air, but if you haven't subscribed to Fight Zone, what's wrong with you? Just get it done. $4.99 a month, of course. Fights every Friday night. The odd Saturday bonus night thrown in as well. Incredible value for money. And of course, still to come tonight, Craig Miles takes on Josh Cook, Dom Hunt, Naeem Ali, Fezin Shahid against Stephen Maguire, Stevie-Ann Levy against Grabiano Mezzi. You've got certainly a bit of interest in that one, of course. Belly Dennis against Tipikor, and then the main event, Hamed Ghaz against Liam Shinkwin, which is a fascinating one, really, given the amount of time that Shinkwin over the last 7 or 8 years has been out of the ring. Pandemic, of course, like it has for everybody, has forced the absence from the ring as well. So what has he tonight against the hungry young fighter that is Hamed Ghaz?
Melville here again, the first minute of the round. Melville's the one who's underscoring punches. As impressed I was with Underwood using the first 2 rounds, he's been pretty poor through 3 and 4 so far. He's turning southpaw, he's coming out of distance with his head in the air, and I think it's a concentration issue. I think it really is a concentration issue. You've got to get back behind, doing what was working. Lower your head, get behind the jab. When you throw the jab, throw it with your shoulder. That automatically will bring your head into your chest. He's rushing there, he's diving in. The first 2 rounds was massively impressed him. I think his concentration kind of switched off. I think he thought the job was half done, and Melville's really gritted his teeth and come back into it.
Now, Sam, you've got to go.
Good right hand by Melville again. He's really come into this fight, and the 3rd round and this 4th round, I really think Melville's winning it. The 3rd round was close, and again he got caught again with a long left hook and a right hand again. Underwood Hughes really now is feeling the pace and he's working onto everything. So the scorecards will be interesting, because I could see this anywhere from a 38-38 to a 39-37.
Last minute, Sam. Come on, mate.
Well, it's Darren Sargison that makes that call.
I think there the miss by Underwood Hughes there, it shows in fights, if you switch off for even 30 seconds a minute to get back into it, once your opponent has really got into a rhythm, is a hard thing to do. Once your opponent is in a rhythm, which Melville is in now, you know, he's bouncing around on his toes, got a bit of confidence, he's throwing the jab out, making Melville miss. For Underwood Hughes now to get back into his groove, it's very hard, because to get into that groove, you've got to knock Melville out of his, and he's really struggling to do that, and he's definitely not won the 4th round. Good left up there by Underwood Hughes, but for me that's not enough to win this round.
You've got to go now, 10 seconds.
It was smart work from Underwood Hughes, and Melville took it well. And again, Underwood Hughes just trying to have the final say in this 4th and final round.
It's been a good fight, you know. Underwood Hughes for 2 rounds really impressed me. I think he can do really well. Sam Melville, I think, is going to be a very, very hard man to get fights for, because I think with experience he's going to be a good fighter. As for the scorecards, probably 39-37 Hughes. I think probably won the first 3 rounds, but wasn't an easy night. And it was a good fight for him, a very good fight. You know, obviously he's boxed in Misley, Jorkland, Rodriguez, Beeden. Melville probably as good as all 4 of them. So maybe, even though he's a debutant, probably a little step up on the ladder there to titles for Underwood Hughes. A Midlands title for me wouldn't be too far away for him, but he's got to really work on keeping his concentration in the fight, because he lost it somewhere there through round 3, and he couldn't really get back into it because he let Melville in the fight.
So the debutant, Sam Melville, against Joe Underwood Hughes from Nottingham, who now has 5 bouts to his name. And Darren Sargison, the scoring referee, has handed his notes to our MC tonight. He has the official result, Paul Booth.
So the lightweight contest goes the distance. After 4 rounds of boxing, our scoring referee, Darren Sargison, decides the bout. He has it at 40 points to 36 points in favour of our winner. He's still undefeated from Beeston, Joe Underwood Hughes.
So, Darren Sargison has an emphatic win for Joe Underwood Hughes to make him 5 unbeaten in the professional ranks. The debut for Sam Melville, certainly workmanlike, clearly knows what he's doing, Glenn, but a clear win according to Darren Sargison for Joe.
Well, just because you win every round doesn't mean it's a clear win.
True.
Each round was well fought, you know, hard fought. Melville was always very competitive, was always in it, but just, you know, the inexperience told, and he didn't quite do enough. And Underwood Hughes, you know, had the cleaner boxing, the better boxing throughout the contest, and obviously deserved the win. I thought the same sort of margin, but you know, it didn't tell the story of the fight. It was a very competitive fight, and for someone making his debut against a 4-0 fighter, that's a big step up.
It is.
It's a big stage. It's a big step up. You're going in against a 4-0. I remember what I was like against a 3-0 fighter when I, you're up against it.
Yeah.
But he didn't fight like that. He fought well, and he fought hard, and he fought competitively, and he kept at it right to the very end. So that's good. He'll come again. There's fights out there. Joe Penton obviously thought that was a chance worth taking. All they do now is just bring him back a notch. Get him. Get his confidence back a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was always putting up resistance, and he was always trying his best. Just the better class was from Underwood Hughes.
Yeah. What about that point Dave was making about concentration? You can just slip into a little bit of a lack of concentration and let the other fighter in. I guess that is a danger.
It's always a danger. It's always a danger with fighters. But I thought this was a hard-fought fight. I never really saw anybody relaxing or taking the foot off the pedal. They both had to concentrate throughout this because it was that sort of fight. Remember, these are the young guys. Yeah. It's at the very beginning of their career. They're on a big stage. Nerves are in there, and they're doing their very, very best to put on the best performance they can, and they both did.
Yeah.
And Underwood Hughes just had that little bit more polish, that little bit more experience, and that told.
He's got some natural attributes, hasn't he? He's quite tall, I would think, for the weight, and obviously that gives him a nice long left jab. So he's got the natural tools.
It is. It's a good. If you're tall, long. If you can box that way, obviously, there's short, stocky fighters who can...
Brilliant as well, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Tyson did all right for a short, little stocky fella, didn't he?
He did.
So, but you've got to make your physical attributes work for you. It's no good if tall and long, if you can't throw a left jab, or you can't use the ring. You don't have good movement. So, I think in time, with confidence, he'll learn to use those attributes. Use a better left jab.
And pace himself. If he's going to go towards obviously area titles and so on, and obviously that will be his hope, then he's going to go to 6 and 8 and 10 rounds, and that's going to require perhaps a bit more patience, a bit more strategy.
It's very difficult. I mean, I started as a 6-3s fighter, so but the 4-3s is very much like the amateurs.
Yeah.
It's still very much of a rush.
Yeah.
Where you've got to do everything at 50 miles an hour. When you suddenly get the 6 and the 8, then you can use your skills, use your brain, use your experience. You can bring all of them into play so much more, and that's the likes of Huntington Hughes. He'll do that.
Yeah.
He'll do that. It's always good. The good fighters come through over the longer distance. It's a whole different game when you get to 10 rounds, and when you get to the championship level, it's another game altogether. That's when you depend on heart and character and perseverance and determination. So in a career, it's about certain stages and getting to those stages, and and that's what fighters have to do.
What we saw, didn't we, with Tommy Frank last week, albeit in defeat, the strategy can be well thought out, well executed. Sometimes even that isn't enough.
Exactly. How many times has strategy gone wrong where fighters just had the wrong instructions? Now his instructions were right, and it was for me, it was really well executed. Yeah. I just thought as towards the last few rounds, it was still very, very close. It was still split decision, but I thought to really make sure of it, when somebody's throwing more punches than you've got to think. Maybe they're looking at all these punches, even if they're hitting arms and I'm catching them.
Yeah.
Are they still looking at his work rate? You've got to think about that, and that's where he needed to up his work rate so much more.
Yeah. Okay. Lots to think about, no doubt, for Joe Underwood Hughes, but he is 5-0 and he's waiting to talk to Dom.
Well, Joe, you got the job done. You got the arm raised. Sam was making his debut in there tonight. Did you find it tricky? I mean, it got a little bit messy at times in there, but both of you having a go.
Yeah, it was just every time I was trying to work and either go to the body or work the shots on the inside, he would just tie me up and holding on to me, just making it an hard work. Can't get the words out. Hard night's work.
You've done the talking in there, don't worry. But obviously it's your 5th bout, and it's been a frustrating time for everybody.
Yeah.
It's good to just get out, isn't it, and get in there and feel those punches for real again.
Yeah, exactly. It's been 18 months since I last boxed. Been in the gym ticking over, and then obviously got this opportunity came up, so we've just been grafting away since, and just grateful to be here.
You enjoy the arena here tonight?
Yeah, it's brilliant setup, and like I say, just grateful for the opportunity to box. One of the many few that can say they've done it during COVID, so I'm just happy to get out. And as you can all probably see, I was a bit rusty myself. That's not a great performance. That's like, I would rate that 5 out of 10. I know what I can do, but like you said, I just got to get out and shake some rust off.
So that's 5 fights in. It's still early in your career. You're still a young fella. So what would you like to do? I mean, you obviously probably want to get out a couple of times before the year's over.
Yeah, well, we've already got 2 scheduled in, September the 9th and October the 10th. So we're a couple of days off in the gym, straight back in the gym, ready for those 2 fights. We're going to do a 6-rounder and then an 8-rounder. So yeah, busy year, and then fingers crossed, get the 2 victories, and we'll move on for like a 10-rounder in like December time.
Do you let yourself get carried away in terms of, you know, names in and around your division and who you'd like to fight and the targets that you have for titles and all the rest of it?
I think because of my background, I've not come with an amateur background, so I had no amateur fights. So I'm learning on the job. So I feel like personally I'm not in a position to start going through the professional ranks and saying I want this fight, I want that fighter. But you look at my record, some of the people I've fought already in my career, off no amateur experience, half these guys that are signed to these big TV deals, they're not fighting the people I'm fighting, and I've not got the amateur background. So I'm not going to stand there and call names, but any one of them want to step up and call me out, I'll be ready.
Well, Fight Zone, it's all about real fights here as well. We've already had some fantastic cards as well, and it's going to go on and on and on. So you want to be a part of that, I'm sure. And in terms of, it's your first fight outside of Nottingham, and normally you fight at the Harvey Haddon, where you work as well as a lifeguard.
Yeah. So I've had all my bats at Harvey Haddon, apart from tonight, and worked there as a lifeguard part-time.
You got a few days off now?
Yeah. Been off all week in the bubble, enjoying it, living the life, living the dream, and then I'll be off for 2 days and then back in work. And a final one, because I know that your girlfriend's a professional tennis player as well, so is it quite competitive? Yeah, very competitive. The fitness aspect of stuff and conditioning we do, I'm always pushing her to be as good as me. She'll probably disagree, but I know I can beat her in every department.
So give us, what's her name?
Her name's Melissa Maddock. She's a upcoming female tennis player. She's hopefully get some Grand Slams next year, and you'll see her on the telly as well.
Well, best of luck to both of you. Well done tonight, Joe.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
We've got the lots on Fight Zone, including what sounds like quite a competitive relationship there for young Joe Underwood Hughes and his tennis-playing girlfriend. Wish them both every success. So much to look forward to this evening. A trio of debuts on the main card from 7:30 for Craig Miles, Faizan Shahid and former world-level kickboxer Billy Dennis. Then there's a return to the ring for promising prospect Dom Hunt and Stevian Levy, part of the burgeoning Dave Allen stable of fighters. Steps up, so does Stevian, for her 3rd professional bout against the very game Gabriela Meze from Romania. Tonight, all about the main event, though. Domestic title eliminators have been nothing if not exciting on Fight Zone so far. Another 50-50 bout by many people's reckoning as Hamed Ghaz and Liam Shinkwin face off for the right to fight for the English lightweight title. Obviously in the hands of Myron Mills, not one to be missed. So, Glenn, we are done for the moment, but 7:30 we're back for more.
We are, and a lot to look forward to. As always, we're going to be in for some really good fights.
Yeah, looking forward to your company. Remember, Fight Zone is where you go to subscribe. $4.99 a month for every Friday. There you go. It doesn't get much better advertising than that. $4.99 per month, and we give you all of that every Friday night. See you at 7:30 on Fight Zone.